People say a single phone call can change your life, but no one ever tells you that sometimes it changes two lives at once, one on the edge of a broken dream, and another in the middle of a world built on fear. And on that rainy evening, when a trembling poor girl dialed the number of the city's most feared mafia boss to report that his only son had collapsed in the street, she had no idea that her voice would pull two worlds together and rewrite destinies that were never meant to cross. This is the story of how courage found its way into the darkest corners, and how one small act of kindness shattered a lifetime of silence. The rain fell in thin, cold sheets over the city, blurring the lights and painting the pavements in silver streaks. A young girl named Mira, barely 20, wrapped her arms around her thin sweater as she hurried home from her part-time shift at a bakery. Life had never been kind to her, her father gone, her mother bedridden, and every bill resting on her thin shoulders. Yet Mira always moved with quiet resilience, the kind that didn't shout but refused to crumble. As she crossed a dim, empty street, her eyes caught sight of something, a body lying motionless near a street lamp. At first, fear held her still. Then instinct pushed her forward. She knelt beside the young man, around 22, dressed in fine clothes soaked by the rain, a bruise swelling across his forehead. His breaths were shallow, weak, frightening. She searched his pockets for identification, praying she wasn't too late. A small silver card slipped into her hand, engraved with a name everyone in the entire city whispered with dread: Vittorio Marchetti. The son of the mafia boss. Luca Marchetti's only heir. Myra's heart pounded. She should run. Everyone knew staying involved with the mafia meant danger, but leaving this boy here meant something worse. She hesitated only a moment before pulling out her cracked phone and dialing the number engraved below the name. The call connected. A chilling, gravelly voice answered. "Who is this?" Mira swallowed. "My name is Mira. I found your son. He's not responding. He fell on the street and he can't get up." Silence followed, so heavy she thought he had hung up. Then, "Where are you?" She gave the location with shaking hands. Within minutes, black cars tore through the street. Men in dark coats poured out, guns hidden but obvious. And at the center of them, stepping into the rain as if the world bowed around him, Luca Marchetti, the mafia boss himself. His eyes were cold fire, scanning the scene, landing on Mira first, then on his collapsed son. "You touched him?" he asked sharply. I only checked if he was breathing," Mira whispered, stepping back, but Luca said nothing more. Instead, he kneeled beside his son, lifting him with surprising gentleness. For a moment, the mask of the feared ruler cracked, revealing the raw terror of a father whose world was fragile. "Take him to the car," he barked, yet the fear remained in his eyes. When the men rushed away, Mira thought it was over. But Luca turned back to her, rain sliding off his coat, his presence towering. "You saved my son's life tonight," he said, his voice steady but edged with something human. "Don't disappear. I will find you if I need more details." Those words chilled her, but also held a strange warmth. She nodded, unable to speak. As the cars roared away, Mira was left alone in the rain, her heart heavier than before. She didn't know it yet, but that moment, that decision to stay, would pull her into a world she never asked for, and one that would change everything she ever believed about fear, kindness, and the meaning of courage. The next morning, Mira woke early for her bakery shift, believing the world would forget her part in last night's chaos. But the universe had different plans. When she stepped outside her small home, two black cars were parked quietly at the corner. A man approached her, not threatening, but unmistakably from Luca's world. "Miss Mira," he said respectfully, "the boss requests your presence." Her breath hitched. She wanted to refuse, but she remembered the bruised boy lying in the rain, the desperation in Luca's eyes. After ensuring her mother was safe, she followed. They drove through the wealthiest district, a place Mira had only seen in movies. She was led into a mansion guarded like a fortress, yet inside was strangely silent, as if grief itself had wrapped around the walls. Luca waited in a grand hall, but today his expression was different, less cold, more burdened. He gestured for her to sit, and though her knees quivered, she obeyed. "My son, Vittorio, woke up this morning," he began. "He has a serious concussion and low blood pressure. The doctor said, if he had stayed on the street 10 more minutes, it could have been fatal." Mira's eyes widened. I didn't do much." "You did enough," Luca said. "More than anyone else would have dared." He studied her face, searching for something. Not fear, though she felt it. Not guilt. Something deeper. She didn't know he saw in her what he hadn't seen in anyone for years: sincerity, I want to know exactly how you found him, Luca said gently. Mira recounted everything, her shift, the rain, the moment she saw the shadow on the ground. Luca listened without interrupting, his jaw tightening when she described the boy's condition. When she finished, he leaned back slowly. You have courage, he said. Not many approach danger. You walk toward it. Then, unexpectedly, his voice softened. What do you want in return? Money. Protection. A job. I don't want anything, Mira said quietly. I just couldn't leave him there. Her answer stunned him. For a man surrounded by people who wanted power, deals, and influence, hearing someone ask for nothing rattled him more than gunfire ever could. Before he could respond, footsteps echoed. A nurse entered, signaling that Vittorio was awake and asking for someone who wasn't his father. He pointed directly at Mira. Luca raised an eyebrow. It seems my son wants to see you. Mira froze. Me? Why? Let's go find out, Luca said, standing. As they walked toward the room where Vittorio lay recovering, Mira's heart pounded, not from fear of the mafia, but from the weight of an unexpected destiny forming in front of her. She didn't know whether she was stepping into gratitude, danger, or something entirely different, but she walked forward anyway, because sometimes, saving a life isn't the end of the story. Sometimes, it's only the beginning.